Hello everyone. Welcome to Exampur. I hope you are doing well. So, hurry up, please do join the session and please do share the session as much as possible. And in this session, we are going to discuss very important questions for your mains perspective. Vivek, very good evening. Yes, Vivek, I can understand. Uh, right, something something good is not happening. Yes, Divya Mishra, very good evening. Anil Gautam, very good evening. But definitely a very good news. You may hear very soon, I think. So, and and other part that is a very disappointment thing which is associated with yourself with respect to me. Yes, Vivek. So, first thing, whoever still don't download the application, please go download these applications, register yourself, and access all the facilities which is provided by the applications. But this is my style. Okay. So the question is about the in the latest pattern. Like in the latest pattern, that means in 2021 you have witnessed that a very simple question which is asked to you in a very difficult or different manner. Means suppose the question is about the citizen charter, but the state question is which is basically asked in the mains examination, which is very let's try just we can use the term Mauda question. It is the good news. Good news. Freedom is the good news. So, okay, let us start a session. And what is the question? First, I will write the question in the board, and after that, I just give you some hint or some points or what the ways you can write in your mains examination. What are the introduction part? What are the bodies part? What are the conclusion part? Yes. So gradually you can discuss. The question is the how far do you agree that how far do you agree? How far do you agree agree that use of self-help groups? No, no, no. It's not a question. It's a question. Sorry, sorry. Yes. Basically, this question will be your homework. But don't worry. So the question will be a major responsibility in a federal country. A major responsibility in a federal country. Every keywords is very very important. Okay, so you have to keep in the mind responsibility in a federal country in a federal country with a strong centralizing tendency with a strong centralizing tendency, okay, is to maintain the balance is to maintain the balance. Maybe this time the question may be asked such of types, but don't worry, uh, we are practicing such kind of questions. Balance as well as mutual respect. Balance as well as mutual respect. As mutual respect. Mutual respect. Chico or I think you are. I'm not. If I'm not wrong, you are Priyanka, or you are maybe another name. I think so. As far as I remember your name. Yes, Chiku. Very good evening. So respect between political structures at the center, between political structure, political structure, structure at the central structures at the center, at the central and state levels and state levels. Explain in light of recent events. Explain in light of recent, not earlier, recent events. That is the difference. Explain in light of recent events. Now, we have already discussed lots of questions of paper 2, paper 3 as well, paper 4 as well. Okay, but such kind of yes, this is a very not this is a very different type of question, but yes, the the method, the way of question which is asking to you, that is a bit different, because this question, it may be simple. Suppose it if I just want to make it simple, then it become federal government. Regarding this topic, basically belong to the federal government. Okay, federalism. So what are the federal government, the challenges, what are the recent examples, okay, and what will the way forward? That is the question. But the question is the way of the question which is asking to you, that is very tricky. And this time the question is asking to you little bit, maybe this time 2022, maybe tricky, maybe more tricky, maybe more tricky. Just a minute. Yes. So what are the demands of the question? What are the demands of the question? A major responsibility of a federal country. First thing, the responsibility of the federal country. That is the features, that is significance of the federal country. Okay, with a strong centralizing tendency. Okay, here you can make a dimension the centralizing tendency of the federalism, or we can say the of the nation, of the country. So this is the centralizing tendency which you can make one dimension. Okay, first thing, to maintain the balance as well as the mutual respect between political structure at the central and state levels. That is statement. That is simple statement. Or in this statement, the theme or the sense of the questions, what are the question try to ask to you, that is a very big concerns, because we have only a simple statement. Okay, but in this statement we have to just try to find out dimension, that we have to just try it in the message writing. So this is 10 marks question basically. In the introduction, that is very not big concern. Introduction and conclusion, that is not a very big concern, but the demand of the question which is basically fulfilled in the body part, that is a very big concern. So the centralizing tendency, first dimension that we have to write, what are the criteria, what are the what are the points, what are the things which makes India the centralizing tendency. Yes, we have one thing, that is India have a centralizing tendency, and that means quasi-federal in nature. India is quasi-federal in nature. That means quasi-federal. That is means India is federal in nature, but unitary in spirit. That is given by the KC Bede. Okay, Rinki Yadav. Hello and very good evening. It's not good afternoon. Yes. So, in the body part, first, what makes India's central power, or sorry, not central power, centralizing tendencies, okay, in the federal government? So, one dimension which I have to mention, I will just give you examples or data and points. But first thing, every question just, you have to just face every question or any question, random question. First, you have to just analyze or in very short time that yes, the demand of the question is that is this thing, this thing, this thing. Just if you initial phase when you try to find out when you find out that yes, these are the dimensions which we have to mention, that is 50% task is basically done. Next one is explain in light of recent events. Now you have to give examples. You have to give examples that yes, we have these examples. For example, you can also put examples like farm laws. Okay, farm laws basically farmers agriculture, which is basically lies on the concurrent list, Schedule 7. But the central government not misuse use this list, this event, or this we can say the Schedule 7 intensively in their favor. You can use this one because this is the latest event. Next one is the institutionalization. What is institutionalization? That means recently you have witnessed that is recently the tenure of the CBI, which is basically unilaterally increased, random raid by the AD Enforcement Directorate, which is basically from the central government. This is which shows the dilute or not dilute, which basically shows the centralizing tendency. Okay, centralizing tendency. So there are lots of examples. One example is the electricity bill. Okay, that is electricity bill 2022. I think recent. Okay, so I just mentioned here. You have first thing that is if you just write in the body part, you must have data and substantiate with the examples. If you do not have a sufficient examples, Rinki, Alpana, Nidhi, Verma, very good evening. Yes, I am fine. So definitely you must have a short ideas that yes, this is the points. You do not focus in the making of the sentence. Yes, these are the sentence, these are the points, these are the these points do not complete full. So don't focus in these aspects. Just focus on your content. Just focus on your presentation. Just focus on your structuring. Just focus on your every points, which is basically substantiated with the examples and data and the other key facts. Okay. So let's start this lesson. Now, any doubt regarding this question? Because 50% work is done when you understand the demand of the question, or when you just find out yes, these are the dimension, these are the demands which you have to fulfill in this particular question. So when you just reach in this stage that yes, I have yes, great enough ideas regarding this question, then that time is very we can say when your mind and your hand, when your thought thinking process or your thought or your hand moving simultaneously, because in the examination hall you have a limited time for one question. Approx, if we just try to find out for one question, you have on an average 7 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes. Is 10 marks a 10 marker question. So 6 marker question, and you have to fulfill the dimension, the question of the dimension. So in this time, your mind and your hand, your definitely your pen, move simultaneously in that time. If you just are thinking but your hand is not moving with your mind, that is a very, that can be a very big concern. Or otherwise, maybe your hand is moving very fast, but your thinking process, thought is not uh, aligning with your hand. That is a very big concern. So when you writing the mains answer writing, or you when you write any mains answer writing, then your hand and your thought process go simultaneously with the time. Okay. Now, Farida Khatun, a very good evening. In the introduction part, what you can write in the introduction part, you can just write, you can just mention what is the federalisms, or what are the basic ideas, or the or another fact is that is federalisms. It's federalism right now. In the case of the Bharti case, that is a very great landmarks, which consider great landmarks judgment. And this judgment basically one thing come out, that is federalism is a basic structure of the doctrine. Is a part of the basic structure of doctrine. So you can just write here in the introduction. Otherwise, if you don't like to write the basic structure doctrine in this part, because you think that is a very simple statement, you can also write, yes, India has a federal government but centralizing tendency, which is given by this Kisi Berry. You can just write this point. You have a lots of options, but you have to write any one, because the space is limited. You have a multiple options, but the space is limited, and you in this limited space, you have to write a better one. You have enough content, maybe enough content. You have enough points. You have enough data. You have ideas, but you have to put or write those ideas which is more relevant, which is more demanding in nature, because time and space which is limited. Okay. So just I write the statement introduction, which I feel that it may be a good introduction. So let's start. You can just write India's federal India's federal system has been termed as a quasi-federal. Okay, India's federal system is termed, but one thing you have to keep in the mind, that you just make your sentence as simple as possible, because simple sentence you will fetch good marks. Tough sentence, tough vocabs, or very blurry language, definitely you will not get means at least 50% marks. Not 50%, 50 marks only. 50 marks means out of 250 marks. Okay, so that is a very big thing which you have to keep in mind. India's federal system is termed as quasi-federal. Quasi-federal, which is given by, or simple quasi-federal. If you just want to underline, yes, just do underline here, no problem. Given by KC. Okay. So, if you just want to add something else, you can just add. That is, yes, what are the what basically this person highlighted in this statement, or the term quasi-federal. You can just also write here, or you can just add in this sentence as well. Kisi Vere, highlighting highlight highlighted highlighted the centralizing or highlighting its central central tilt central tilt in various various respect respect. Okay, so these are the, so this is the introduction part, and if you write this one is in the introduction part, definitely you will means, suppose this means, you can say yes, examiner also will consider these types of introduction very very important, a very very good in introduction, because you definitely uh, mention here the quasi-pedal term given by those personalities, and what are the objectives, what are the applications, which is basically I just mentioned here, highlighted its central talent in various respect. Means in the introduction part, you have mentioned three terms: the name, the terms, quasi-pedal, the personalities, the objectives and application of the quasi-pedal. Okay. Now, introduction is very very big uh, thing, because it may be a game changer, because every questions, the introduction is the attractive point. It is the first, and the first one, the examiner get attention to this your particular question, because your introduction uh, can decide, yes, the answer copies can be evaluated further or not, because if your introduction is not good as possible, then definitely it can be a very not very big, it can be issues. Okay. So now move on the next, that is the next portion, and in the next portions you have to just write what are the features which makes India centralizing uh, tendencies. Okay, so you definitely you have some points, but if you have a points, more points, then you have to mention in the point wise manner, because you have limited space to 2 pages, and 2 pages some margins are there. So yes, you can just mention here centralizing tendency of, or simple, you can write centralizing tendency and centralizing tendency. Now you can write the points. If you just make the cloud format, or the make the diagram, or the anything else maybe. So suppose we have a one subheading, that is a centralizing tendency. You can just write the facts or the points with some examples. That is very good in this aspect. So first thing, if you just subcategorize this subheading, that is very important again. So again, suppose we have a uh, in the legislatures, in the legislatures parts. Okay, in the legislatures parts, we have some point. Afreen Khatun. Today I am too late. I think you are first one in my class. I think Afreen Khatun and Gitanjali Behra. So, in with respect to the legislatures, we have some points, because we know that India has uh, more items which is included in the central list. Definitely, we have three lists: central, state list, and concurrent list. Central list, we have 100 items or subjects. That is a very large as compared to the other ones. So this point basically make difference or make centralizing natures of the uh, just we can say the quasi-federal, that is we can just use the code. So first, that is the point is the uh, more subject in center list. You can just example here, that is the schedule. That is first point. Second point. Good evening. Okay. So next one is the overriding power of union. You know that the if parliament and the state assemblies make laws on the same subject in the concurrent list, that items which is present in the concurrent list, then the parliament laws can prevail. Okay, you definitely know about that this one, because I have already taught you in the prelims 90 days examinations. So this nature basically make the centralizing tendency of the nature of the sector. So yes, we have a that is the next point, that is a overriding power. Overriding power of union with respect to, or we can just example you can use the just with respect to concurrent list. That is the next one. In the 10 marker question or in the paper 2, paper 3, you can just use your and you just make your answer in the point-wise manner, because point-wise manner, which basically you can just mention write more points, because paper 2, paper 3, basically if you write the if you read the newspaper, if you read the current affairs, 80 to 90%, 90% basically based on the your paper 3 and paper 2. Hardly something which is basically belong to the art and culture, society part, paper 1, geography part. So 80 to 90%, 80 to 90. Okay. So residuary power. Okay. This all are under the legislature's portions. Okay. These are the first point, and these sub points have a other points. That is a which I mentioning here. So these are the next one. So next one is the one, two, three. Yes. And the next one is the role of governor. That is sufficient. Okay. Now we have a next sub point. That is a executive. In the executive level, we have a different points. Okay. So we have a different points. That is a so first point that I just want to make here, the not a role of government. I just tried here the appointment of government, because president appoint and president can dissolve or can remove the post of governor. So that is the first part. In the executive part, the role of governor. In this section, we use the first point, role of governor. That is the first in the executive part. Okay. So that is a basically governor when issue the ordinance, that is from the article by using the article 213. That is also a very big concern, because ordinance making powers which is associated in the president and the governor. President for the article 123 and governor for the article 213. And this ordinance making power, when the laws is formulated through the ordinance, those laws can same effect or impact as the bills which is passed through the parliament or the state assemblies. So the ordinance which basically gives a strength or more power to the governor as well as the president. So role of governor, that is very article, you can just write here article 213, that is also here, or as well as president to 123. Next one is the use of central agencies like CBI, ED, that is also use of central agency. Example, you can just give example, that is CBI, recently ED. I'm just giving an example, and I'm just covering the dimension of the centralizing tendency. Next part, I will be dealing with the recent events. What are the recent events which basically shows that yes, in India we are witnessing the centralizing tendency of the central government. Okay, so this is the basically the centralizing tendency, because in the question there is a clearly mentioned centralizing tendency. Definitely you have to mention here what are the kinds of centralizing tendency, what are the events, what are the points you just want to give here. So these are the 2 points. Next one is emergency power, and it's very popular. This is right here. Emergency power. Okay. You can also write here article 352, 356, and 360. Okay. So these are the class points. So these are the points for the one dimension, that is the centralizing tendency. Now move on the recent events. So we can just make here the recent events of the centralizing tendency of central or simple central tilt. Just you can write central tilt. Now you can make the point. I think you are just noticing that I am not writing here in the language format. I am just write in the point wise, because you do not have a. If you suppose you have a content, and in your mains examination, in your UPSC mains examination, content, structure, and your presentation, that is a very big that makes pattern in your mains examination. Because when your content is good, you have a lots of content. You have a lot. If you have 2 pages and you just put a lot of content in the mains in your particular question, then definitely the examiner can just in this time can think that yes, those aspirants have very great knowledge. Okay, and mains is basically the phase to check your knowledge. What are the broadness of your knowledge? So yes, content, if you write in the paragraph format, then definitely you can use your points in very limited manner, but in the point wise you can express yourself as more as possible. Okay, recent events, I just here also again categorize the event in terms of legislature, in terms of institutionalizations, in terms of fiscal federations. Okay, so these 3 subheadings for subheading of subheadings, and we use the recent events. Recent events, it may be judgment, it may be act, it may be bills, it may be policies, it may be schemes, anything. So let's start first. in the legislations. Okay. So in the legislations, we have a first thing are the farms laws. Okay, the farms laws, or you can just write here the criticism of farms laws. If you make this sentence, just underline the keyword that is the farms laws. Okay, because recent event, that is the farms laws. Okay. Next one in this is first point. Okay. Next point is the electricity amendment bill. Still it is pending. Still it is pending. Okay. But yes, this bill is pending due to the oppositions from the some groups or communities. Okay, so that's why it is pending. So you can just write here the electricity. Definitely it is a bill, it is not an act, but yes, this is the steps, this is the recent events with respect to the centralizing tendency. Okay, electricity amendment bill. Amendment bill 2022. This is 2020. 2020, no? Yes. So these are the, and any other things, any other schemes, any other policy which you can remember. If you have any recent steps, recent events, you can just do comment in the comment box. If you have any, because if you just participate in the answer writing practice, that things makes a session more interactive. If you do not have some point, do not have some ideas, and you just think about, yes, because I definitely in the first some few minutes I just focus in the question part, what the question is demanding. After that I will deal with the answer. So yes, I will expect from your side that every any steps in the part of legislation, if you have any ideas, any points or any schemes, any laws, any act, you uh, recent means it doesn't means it means nearly 1 or 2 months before. It may be 1 or 2 years. It may be. If you have points, if you have a laws, any ideas, please do let me know. Otherwise, I will move to the next point, and I will just left some space in the board, because I'm just expecting you. You are giving some points, some steps, or some acts. Okay, so I'm just left some space. Next one is the institutionalization. Okay, that is the second point. Institutionalization. Institutionalization is right. So first thing, recently the random raid in the politicians by the ED. That is first thing. Recent, if you talk about the recent, the random raid by AD, that is sufficient. And next one is the unilaterally increase the tenure increased the tenure of PBI. That is another concerns, institutionalization. And the next one may be the privatizations. Okay, uh, privatization, it's also comes under the institutionalization. Okay, some public sector undertakings comes under the privatizations. Okay, so if you do not have a lots of ideas, just do mention in the keywords format. So you can just mention here privatization. Privatization, that is more than sufficient. Okay, so 3 point is that is more than sufficient. If you have any idea regarding this one act or bills, it may be updated. It may be updated over the time. So if you writing this answer in your notebook, then please, first thing, please left some space in this after the this act, this bill, so this bill, because maybe when you are just giving the mains examination, in that time, the under something new acts, new policies, new schemes may be there in that time, and you can just mention there. So uh, more you use the tax bills datas, more the chances to fetch the more marks. Okay, so this is the next point. Now third point, that is the fiscal federalism. Fiscal federalism. So what are the recent events? Recent events, I think you have also heard about. That is the issues regarding the GST compensation cess. Issues regarding the GST compensation cess. You already know about the what is cess. Cess basically means tax on tax, and cess have solely, exclusively, the central government have the exclusive power on the cess. There is no any division of cess, the money over the cess. So this is the this can be a very big issues, or this can be a very big concerns for the it. Yes, definitely it is not a very recent event, but this may be a recent event for the fiscal federalism, or the which basically shows the centralizing tendency of the central government. So you can just use the uh, first just a minute. Issues regarding issues regarding GST compensation cess. You can just underline this one. Okay. Now next thing maybe the, but it is not latest one, not recent. I just want to mention it because such a kind of question, that is regarding the fiscal federalism, regarding federalism, I have already done with these questions. I think in this mains answer writing question, this is also question with respect to the federalism, but the demand of the question is different, because the question is demanding the recent event. What are the recent events? And when we are done in the earlier sessions, same topic, then that time we have not any dimension like recent event. I think you have remembered about it. Okay, so this is the next one. Now, if you have a space, definitely you will get the space when you put your points in the point wise format. Okay, so next, just 3 to 4 points you can give your way forward. That is what needs need of the hour, or what more needs to be done, or what is the need of the hour. So need of the hour you can just also use in this point in your conclusion part as well. You can use the in the conclusion, that is a yes, we have a Punchi commission, we have a Sarkaria commissions. These are the commission basically which is for the fiscal or the federalism. Okay, or simple, there are lots of judgment of Supreme Court, so you can use this one. So in the conclusion, you just make your conclusion part futuristic, optimistic. That is, yes, you can just mention that in conclusion part, because the question demands of the recent events and the central tendency. I've already mentioned here. But what are the conclusion? What will be the conclusion part? In the conclusion part, you can mention here the commission's name, the Punchi Commission and the Sarkari Commissions are there, or the another part, or we can say in another dimension. You can also use this term as another dimension, because if you write in the other dimension, definitely it will. If you have a space, then you can use this another dimension. Shivi Stero, I think you are from Hindi medium, no? I think so. So good evening. So I am very happy to see here. So after some minutes, I will take class in Hindi medium as well. So please do let me confirm. You are in the Hindi medium, no? I think so. आप हिंदी मीडियम से हो? So I have multiple times seen you in that channels. So in the conclusion part, or we can say in the need of the hour, you can just mention also here. Need of the hour means need of the hour. That means what more needs to be done. You can just mention here in a very short. Both Hindi plus English. Both Hindi and English. Okay, thank you. So you are comfort in both the language, no? Means in English as well as Hindi. If you have any doubt regarding any vocabs, any language, please do let me know. Yes, I am here to resolve your issues. Need of the hours. First, you can just mention here the Punchi Commission, but Punchi Commission. But when you mention the Punchi Commission, just write here what are the main objectives of the Punchi Commission. So the Punchi Commissions, which basically deals with the terms of reference, the Finance Commission, regarding Finance Commission. Finance Commission, which you basically know that the Finance Commission is basically constituted by the President for the 5 years. And it is very unilaterally in nature, which is because state have no role and to establish or to constitute the Finance Commission. President or the central government have a sole power. So yes, this Punchi Commission, a very good solution is that the state must have a consultation. The state must have a consultation. This short points you can just add in this point. So state must center must have a consultation with states with respect to Finance Commission. For example, with respect to the Finance Commission. I was writing in short. Next one is Sarkaria Commission. Okay, Sarkaria Commission, we can also just write here Sarkaria Commission. If you write this commission name, definitely you will center must here. Sarkaria Commission. Okay, if you do not have a much of ideas, just mention the name, commission name. That is more than sufficient, because when the examiner just look, yes, these keywords are there, then maybe your sentence is not complete or very partial in nature. Then if you just only mention the commission name, you will get a very good marks. Okay. Respect to Finance Commission. Yes. But Sarkaria Commission basically needs why Sarkaria Commission and SR Bombay judgment, that is very important. Sarkaria Commission and SR Bombay judgment. Okay. Judgment. That is very important. And these two have a very fiscal federalism. Please explain fiscal federalism. Fiscal federalism, that means when the state or the center the center and the states have a distribution of power with respect to the money, with respect to the fund, with respect to the uh, incentives. That time we use the term fiscal federalism. Federalism, that it means which we use the term federalism, that means division of power. When we use the term fiscal, that means the money, division of powers, division of money. Okay, so through the GST, through the taxes, we fulfill the demand of the fiscal federalism. Okay. Okay. So these are the more than sufficient, because in the 10 marker questions you just mention here, and in the last you just mentioned that yes, president and governor have a power and they cannot misuse this power. That thing is very good for the conclusion part. So we have very short of time, because 4:48 and 4:50 I have to just left my class. So I just recall some slide. Yes, this is the question from my side, and I just try to write some important keywords and facts. I am not writing as same as what you use in the examination whole, but I just write as much as possible, uh, because this introduction part, which is very good in your introduction, for your introduction, but in the body part, what are the body part, what are the demands of the questions, which you can just uh, understand when you just read properly, question properly, because the question demand, and your fulfillment of the demand, that is very different things. The question demand and what you just understood to read the questions, that is very different things. You have to fulfill the demand of the questions. You have enough content, you have enough points, but you have to fulfill the demand of the questions. You have lots of content regarding the any issues, any topics, but topics demand is a very important thing. Okay, so I just request to all of you that please do join live this session, because when you join live and interact with me for some regarding some point, when you answer something, I ask something, you just answer something point, that make a session more interactive in nature. Okay. Yes, for English medium channel, the time is 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. 3 p.m. editorial analysis, 4 p.m. anxiety session, and 3 p.m. in English. 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. And Hindi medium is 5 p.m. 5 p.m. in Hindi medium. Okay. 5 p.m. is right now, just okay. So after 7 minutes, we will meet in the Hindi medium channel, in the magazine analysis. Okay. So thank you so much to all of you who joined this session. Okay. So thank you so much, Sevi, Divya, Mishra, Vivek, and who joined my sessions. Thank you, Vivek, Sevi Steno. Anil Gautam, thank you so much. Anil, you are here. Okay, thank you so much.